welcome to this edition of Dustin's Kaleidoscope. I am Dustin, and I am here today with Ashley Leonard, who is the founder and the designer of French Soul Knittery.
Yes, French Soul Knittery, yes.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So one of the reason I wanted to have you on the show is because you have some very beautiful things that I saw online, and I wanted to find out more about them because not only are they really pretty, but they are also environmentally friendly.
Yes.
So can you, first of all, and by environmentally friendly, you use recycled products like
Yes,
for some of the product for.
So I have a cotton necklace that I use recycled cotton fabric. So it's a cut off in the factory, and then they make it into a yarn.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
like it's a roll up yarn that they make it, and so I purchased it from the UK. It's not, and so I make those cotton necklaces. So they are environmentally friendly.
So can you pick up one and show us which one you're talking about? So something like this.
This one, it's a knitted cotton necklace. It's
Okay.
100% cotton. It's very like
I see that. So it's like elastic too.
there's like it's a little bit elastic in it. There's the spring green, and then this is the pretty pink one that's on the website.
And this is made from, you said the ends or the remnants of
the ends of a cotton fabric that they
Oh,
use for like
okay.
a t-shirt.
Oh, I
If they're making
see.
t-shirts, something, all the extras would go to waste. They use it as a
That's
yarn.
wonderful.
Yeah.
That's how did you even come up with this? I mean, we see like you have some other knitted products and you see hats and scarves and those things are a little bit more common, but I've never seen jewelry.
Yes, so the reason why I chose jewelry is because I wanted to have a business that was year-round, not
Oh,
seasonal.
okay.
So every time you think about knitwear or knitting, you think about winter, warmth, scarves, hats, gloves, and things like that. So what I wanted to do was have a business that was year-round, that I can sell things every season. So I chose jewelry as part of
Okay.
it.
And so I know you said that you wanted to, you'd like to have something that's year round, so you
Yes.
thought of the necklaces. Are there any other types of jewelry that you also knit, or is it just the necklaces at this
At
point?
the moment, it's just a necklace for right now. Hopefully, in the coming months, I could do bracelets or something, and maybe I'm thinking of a way to probably knit like earrings or something that's a little bit
okay.
unique. But I mean, I need to make sure that the method is good and it could be sold and people will enjoy it. So
Because these are solid. I mean,
Yeah,
this is like a solid
Yeah.
rope. You know what I mean? It's not
it's
like these
really
flimsy piece. It's a nice solid piece.
yeah.
So how did you get started with this? Like, how long have you been knitting, and at what point did you say, a necklace might be interesting?
Well, I didn't pick up a knitting needle until last year, but my grandmother used to be an avid person who used to knit all the time. She would make me these really beautiful sweaters and
Wow.
scarves and stuff. And then she gave me a set of her needles back when I was a teenager. And
Okay.
I didn't really think about anything about that at the time. But then it was after she passed away when I thought maybe I should unearth these needles and probably see what I can make with them. So I unearthed her needles, and then I decided I could go online and just see like a basic how to just make something just basic. And so I did that. And I made a gray scarf the first time. And so I showed my friends. I went on Instagram and I posted it, and people liked that. So I was like, maybe I can create more with it. Maybe I can make more, and maybe people will like it enough to buy it. And so I did that. And the greatest part about it is that people have been buying from Sweden, Australia.
Wow.
And it's really fun to actually know that someone in Australia has something that I made.
Right.
That's
so cool.
It is really cool. So
And
that's what I'm doing.
you sell on Etsy, is that correct?
Yeah, I sell on Etsy at the moment. I also have my own website too, so I'm just doing the two just in case that a person doesn't want to join Etsy and
'Cause
go
you
through
have
the
to
process.
join.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So they can also go to my website as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. You also have some other, you have some hats as well.
Yes,
Put
so
this
these
over
are
here.
these are hats for newborns.
Oh,
So
those
these
are cute.
newborn hats that there's I actually sold this hat for a person in Australia. So this one they have there.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like silver. It's a wool. It's wool, and there's like this like a glittery element to it. I love yarn that has this glitter. I'm gravitating towards a lot of glitter and sparkle. I love that. So I always make that with my products here. And we also have this one. That's like a chevron style pattern
Okay.
newborn hat.
So
here.
when you are deciding like what things to make, what's your thought process?
Well, I think about what I would like. I think to be creative, you start from your own imagination, your own creativity, and so I'm thinking from what I would enjoy, like things that I like. So if I go to a yarn shop and I see a really pretty, sparkly, glittery yarn, I just gravitate towards it and I get it and I make something like this or a headband or something like that. And in turn, I'm making these things hopefully, like hoping that someone out there will enjoy it as well. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just using my own imagination, hopefully, making something, hoping that someone else will enjoy it. So that's
Okay.
where my inspiration comes from. Yeah.
And you said you picked up the needles about a year ago,
I picked them up a year ago, yes.
and you just looked online for like instructional videos on how to.
Well, yeah, I did that, and I also brought a book.
Oh,
So,
okay.
So when I purchased a ball of yarn, I just brought a book that's like right there. So I did that, and I just took an entire weekend for the first time, like my first gray scarf. I took a weekend and I made the scarf just right there, and then I took a month to create 20 products that
Wow.
I wanted to incorporate onto the site. So I made that, and I did that. I opened in November of 2013.
Okay.
So I made a lot of scarves, hats, headbands for the winter, and it really took off during that time because it was cold. It was like one of the worst winters of
This is true.
of the year and of the season. So I did that, and so people were surprisingly the first sale I got was from a nice gentleman in Sweden that he brought a scarf, and then he came back and brought another scarf because he liked it so much. And so I think that was just I'm still blown away that something that I made is across the world somewhere. So I think that's like the best thing that has happened to me so far opening this business.
And so can you explain the process of how you went from you picking up that ball of yarn, like going to the store, picking up the ball of yarn, you already had the needles, getting the book, the instructional book, and going from that to opening up an Etsy shop and opening out and placing your products on your own, commerce site. How did you go from this is cool to now to business?
I've always wanted to start a business since I was a teenager. That was like a goal of mine, was to always start a business. But I never had the courage to do so before. And when something just told me that, you can do this, like could be a great outlet for you. And so my inner voice, I read the Secret so many times, so I'm believing that that's my inner voice talking to me. And something told me that, you can make these, pieces, and maybe, it can take off and you can start a business. And so, it wasn't until, I started, I picked it up last year, but it wasn't until November of 2013 that I actually thought that maybe this can be something that I can, make bigger, than I have right now, or something that I can make money off of, or really enjoy, have my own business and be my own boss. Like that was the catalyst to really make me start this business, is I wanted to be my own boss. And I think that in this day and age, having your own business and being your boss is like a great thing now, because 2014 is the year of starting your own business, or being doing something of yourself for yourself. And that's what I thought. In college I had a few classes on business, and so I knew a little bit of what to do, how to start my business. I did, before I even put anything on Etsy, I registered my business. I did a DBA, all that, to make sure that this is a legal entity first.
Okay.
So before I did anything, and then after that, I made all the products, and I listed them on Etsy.
And you said you started off with 20?
20.
Was that why 20 and why not 15? Why not 5? What was the
I wanted
reasoning
someone.
behind
I wanted customers to have a wide range of options. So I didn't want them to have like one scarf to choose from. I wanted to have like 5 scarves to choose from. If they wanted it in a different color, they can message me and I can make it, custom for them, which I have done. And so the reason why I did so many first, because I wanted to have options for my customers, and also the more items that you list, the more customers that are drawn to your business.
Oh, okay.
Especially on Etsy.com, that's what happens. Like, more customers are drawn as much. The more products you have, the more customers come in. So that was the reasoning for why I did that as well.
And so when you place something on Etsy, so for example, if you place the chevron hat on Etsy, is it that particular one, or is that just telling people you can create another one, or is it just that one?
Well, I put that one on, so I say it's a chevron hat in purple and white. But I've had people who message me saying, "Oh, are you able to make that in teal and gray?"
Okay.
And so I've had that, and so I make it in teal and gray for them. So,
okay.
I mean, I'm not saying that. I say that I don't do a custom job yet. But if someone asks me, are you able to do it in teal and gray? Then I can do it. If I have the means to it, I can do it. Yeah.
Well, actually, we're going to take a break right now, but we're going to come back, and I want you to tell us a little bit more about how you source the product, the actual raw materials, because I think that's interesting as well. So I'm Dustin, and we'll be right back in a few moments.
Local government, local educational institutions, and local community members all use cable access TV to communicate their message. They depend upon it as an affordable means of outreach. Public educational and government access television empowers local government agencies, individuals, and groups to use the media to speak directly to their constituents in a more direct and cost-effective way. Make sure everyone has a voice. Support your local PEG channels.
Hi, and welcome back to Dustin's Kaleidoscope. I'm here with Ashley Leonard, who is the founder and also the designer from French Soul Knittery.
Yes.
And you know what, before we get back to how the raw materials that you use, where can people, we mentioned Etsy.com, but
Yes.
can you tell us specifically where people can find your products?
Yes, they can go to Etsy.com/shop/French Soul and then KNITTERY.
Okay.
They can also go to www.frenchsoul and KNITTERY. I just want to spell it out for them so they can know. And I'm also on Facebook.
Okay.
Same, French Soul, KNITTERY. I'm on Twitter as the same handle. Instagram, I'm there. I'm always posting something. And I'm on Pinterest as well.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's all. Yeah.
You have all the social networks covered.
I have all the social networks handled. I think I have everything so far. And I have a blog as well. But if you go to the website or the Etsy site, it's right there. You can click on the blog. So everything, if you go to just one of the sites, everything is there. So they can click on it.
Everything is connected.
Yeah.
Perfect. So before we left at the end of the last break, you were going to tell us about the raw materials. So you told us that it's the end product.
Yes.
But how did you where do you get it? How did you think to use that as opposed to just regular t-shirt material that you have at home?
Well, what I did, because in addition to the cotton necklaces, I have there's a vegan acrylic yarn that I use.
I didn't know such a thing existed.
It's just handled in a different way that doesn't incorporate any, I guess, animal product or anything, how they make it or how they source it.
Okay.
And then this is just like a polyester, but it's like a really nice soft acrylic type polyester that I use there. And what I do Well, at the beginning of starting my business, I didn't know that I wanted to use cotton yarn at all for anything. But then I was just sourcing different things because I wanted to make sure that after winter, I can have a business that would thrive in spring and thrive in summer. And I saw that cotton is like the best thing you can, incorporate into your designs for spring and summer, because unlike acrylic or wool, it's hot and it will just stick to you. But with a cotton necklace, it won't. So what I did is I went to a selection of yarn companies. There are some in the UK, and then there are some here in America. There's one in New York that also has cotton yarn there. And so what I did, I just first I purchased a ball of it just to see how it is and see if I can make something out of it. And then once I did that, I just purchased more. So and I can also, if I really want to, make my own cotton yarn, if I can just get jersey fabric. But the thing is, I wouldn't know where it's coming from if I just brought jersey fabric.
Okay.
But from here, because what I was reading, I'm not really familiar with exactly where they get in the factory, but they say that it's from somewhere in the UK in a factory. So if they're making any kind of t-shirt, any kind of design, so if they were making something like my shirt right here, all the cutoffs that came from this shirt would go into this pile to make this yarn.
Okay.
So that's what it's from. And also this is a wool yarn. I do use wool as well, because especially for, the cooler months or something, wool is really good. So these wool, and this is wool too, and it has a little sparkle
I like
element
that.
as
Can
well.
Can I see that one?
This one is softer. It's not as
I like it. It's nice and light.
Yeah, because it's wool, it's nice and light, and because it's this, it's not sturdy like this, but it's light because of the yarn that's used.
But any of the necklaces you could wear, whether it's winter, summer, spring, fall. That's so interesting. The reason I wanted you to tell us about the jersey and how it comes from a specific factory is that I was under the impression that it was just t-shirts that you had cut off. So it's not that at all.
No.
This is brand new material
Yes.
that you are sourcing from a factory in the UK at this point. And you also mentioned that you also get the wool, some wool from there, the vegan wool, or the vegan.
For what?
I guess it can't be wool if it's vegan.
No, the acrylic, yeah. The vegan acrylic is where I get just from a yarn shop in New York.
Oh, okay.
So they have that, and so these three, and this is woolen, and this is just a nice polyester. It's really soft for a baby because you can't have really
scratchy stuff on a newborn's head. Yeah, that would be irritating. Yes. So how long does it usually take you, for something like this, how long would it take you to knit this?
Well, it's really for a necklace, it would take me a couple of hours. It won't take me that long.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm really fast with it, it'd probably take me a half an hour to make that. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's really fast.
And you use the actual needles, not the loom or anything like that?
No, I use a needle for that.
Okay.
Needles for everything here. And I have used a loom for certain things, but I find that with the needles, I'm a little bit quicker for some reason.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah. So I've used both, but for the necklaces and everything, I've used a needle, 2 needles for it, and then.
So you're okay at this point. It's a year on. You're quite accomplished to be able to do this so quickly. Because I've used needles, and it's taking me a little bit longer than 2 hours. So can you give us an idea of the price range for the necklaces as well as just in general, maybe on your Etsy site, what are people looking at as far as a price range for your products?
Well, the necklaces, I price them as $18 because, and some people are well, that's kind of expensive, but it is a handmade product.
Yes.
So what I'm doing is the cotton yarn, all the supplies are not cheap as well. So what I say is it's a handmade product and it's made with love. I hope people enjoy it. So that's how I price it. So the necklaces are $18. newborn hats, which take longer to make. They are about 20 for the acrylic ones, and for the wool it's 25 because it's wool and it's a little bit more.
It's a heavier
Yeah.
material. Okay. So we've talked a little bit about why you started the business, how you have gone from getting your grandmother's needles to actually starting the business. Where would you like to go in the future? Like, what would you like your business to really do in like maybe a year or 5 years?
Well, I would really like it to be more. I want to incorporate more of the necklaces and more jewelry into the shop, and I would like to just make it bigger. You know, hopefully have more people purchasing my stuff, and I would like to do maybe like a pop-up shop
Oh,
sometime,
okay.
like maybe end of the year if I get more interest in it. That'll be great, or something like that. And in 5 years, I want to have a business where I can probably teach people or teach children,
Oh, interesting.
you know, how to knit or how something. Because knitting is very relaxing. I find it's very relaxing, and there's been countless articles and things about how knitting is a relaxing thing to do, and it's a really great craft, and I would like to teach it to other young girls or young boys. You know, it's boys and girls can do knitting. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a girl thing. Could be a boy thing as well, or a man thing. And so that's what I want to do with like 5 years down the line, where I teach people how to do it, or like create like a kit that I can sell to people, and
Oh, that
they'll
would be
do
wonderful.
That, so.
Yeah, so then they can create their
Yeah.
own products. Okay, that's interesting. So, as far as so you have the long term. So, I know that you use social media a lot. How has that been beneficial? Like, has there been one network that's been better, or better for your business than others, or are they about all the same?
Well, I find that Instagram is it's instant, obviously, because as soon as you post something, people will like it instantly. You get, like there's always like a group of people will comment. It's very instant. So Instagram is fun. I love Instagram. It's like posting my stuff on there. Facebook is more business oriented, I think, for my business. I mean, Instagram is for business as well, but you have more fun with Instagram because you have an instant connection with people, whereas Facebook, you're posting something, and so you're hoping that that organic reach will get to them.
Right.
But with Facebook nowadays, I don't want to talk about that, but just in case they may, Facebook's a big company. But so Instagram is really great, and I haven't gotten the hang of what's it? Pinterest.
Okay.
That I'm trying to master right now. I haven't really got the hang of it yet. So hopefully I could pin enough. I mean, I pinned the product, and I like pins. So I'm trying to really understand Pinterest more.
Okay.
So that's what I'm trying to master. But Instagram, I think, is like one of the best social media networks.
Okay.
And then second is Facebook. Then your blog is always the greatest thing to have also.
And
So
do you get a lot of feedback from your blog?
I do, because
Okay.
it's more of a personal connection for my blog, because like I write in a personal standpoint. I get to write either long or short things, so people can understand me as, a business owner, or so they can have a personal connection with me, and hopefully, grow with me and trying to, like what I'm making or something like
That's
that.
wonderful. So you said you use Instagram. Have you had anyone, or rather Pinterest, have you had anyone like pin anything that you have created and say, hey,
I
like to
have
share?
had people have pinned it, and I had a person pin saying they could do it themselves, like, and I'm like, that's not really the idea why I pinned it. Like, I would like you to buy it from me, but if they want to craft that, it's fine. I was kind of taken aback by that little, because they have like a different groups, and they have like some like a craft that they want to create themselves, and my product was in their group. And,
Oh, I see.
it was a little sting to me a little bit, but I've gotten over it. It's been.
Well, Ashley, it has been wonderful speaking to you. Thank you so much. The products are beautiful. And I just love the fact that you've taken a new twist on something that's, on knitting, which has been around for ages. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Maybe you can come back again when you've added more products. I would love to see what your creativity show, what you bring to the marketplace. But thank you so much for being here, and we'll have you next time. I'm Dustin, and this was Dustin's Kaleidoscope, and we'll see you next time.